Alright, I wanted to give another update about this Molten Blast Deadeye that I've continued to work on. Now, I did respec it. I'm still using the same gear that I've been using. I have the same mace, the same ring. I think the last time I made an update, I had an armor with spirit. I found that I was doing too much damage, or not too much damage, but I was doing enough damage to still do the content, and realized that I can be tankier. So I put back on the increased global defenses and the increased maximum life. Plus it comes with armor, evasion, and energy shield. So I ended up putting this back on, and then huge crit reduction on it. I still have the breach ring. It's the same amulet. The boots with the decompose is the same. The belt. I'm still using charms, but I switched them up. I'll explain that a little bit later. The shield is still the same, and I'm still rocking with this helmet. So many are against this helmet for some reason. I really don't think anyone understands the true power of this helmet and just how good it really is. And because it's so cheap at a higher level, I'm pretty sure nobody wants any other players to realize just how strong this helmet really is. The flask is still increased amount recovered, and the mana flask is still, increased charges. So anyway, what I've noticed about playing the build is that as of right now, I have enough damage to clear out tier 15 fully modded 20% delirious, 30% delirious, something like that. Delirious corrupted waystones. So I can fully mod out the waystone. I could add delirium to the waystone, and I can corrupt the waystone, and I can still run it. But for as tanky as I really think I am, I'm still running into problems. And the main problem is damage over time, stuff like ignite. And when I spec down here into shedding skin, it was to reduce the duration of the ignites, reduce the duration of the bleeds, reduce the duration of the poisons, and it's not enough. I spec'd up here into Heartstopper, which is again 4 damage over time, bleed and poison and ignite. And even with Heartstopper, it's still not enough. So I said, okay, I need something more for damage over time. So then I got charms that I can't be frozen, I not bleeding, and I can't be ignited, right? And even then, it's still not enough. I still die to ignites quite frequently. I still die to poisons quite frequently. I'm pretty sure that I still die to bleed quite frequently. It's mostly damage over time that continues to kill this character over and over and over again. And I'm pretty sure that because of the state the game's in right now, that they're not going to give us more ways to try to deal with damage over time. Because the only things we really have for it is we could reduce the duration of it, we can make it deal less damage to us, we have the charms, but that's about it. And even with everything, it's just still not enough. So besides that, I want to be tankier. I do. I did some respecking, but for as tanky as I would like to be, and for as much as I would love to have more defenses, I still also need damage. It is what it is. So I ended up pathing up here to Spectral Ward, which will put more energy shield on the body armor for every point of evasion, and then every node leading up to it is increasing maximum energy shield and maximum evasion, which was something else I was trying to do with this build, was scale the evasion with the armor and energy shield together. So when I did the respecking, I came over here also to backup plan, which is more evasion if I've been hit, and then more armor or increased evasion if I've been hit, and increased armor if I haven't. So I run around with increased armor until I get hit, and then increased evasion kicks in. And then I came over here to Feel No Pain, which is increased armor and increased evasion. I have a little bit of life regen from Relentless, which is just regenerate 0.5% of life per second, which isn't a whole lot, but you know, having a little bit of life regen is better than not having any at all. So, I mean, it's probably not making a difference anyway, but it's a node that I use to path over here into Sturdy Metal, which gives 80% increased armor from the equipped body armor. So on my body armor, it's going to have a flat number, and I'm getting 80% increase to that flat number. That node works the same as Bestial Skin, which is 100% increased evasion from the body armor, but instead of getting 100, I'm only getting 80 from the other node. So it's still a huge increase to the defenses. Everything else is pretty much more damage. For every point of strength I get, I still get increased life, and this is increasing all the attributes including strength, so it's just more life. This is giving me damage per my lowest attribute, and my lowest attribute is dexterity for some reason, but it's almost 100% increased damage right here. I have to figure out why I don't have more. Oh, because I spec'd out of these. Yeah, so I plan on speccing back into these later on. So it's probably around 80% increased right now, something like that. I'm keeping my block for Lay Siege, and that's giving me another 47%. When I put full stacks of my Tailwind up, I'm at 70% evasion, which it could be higher. I'm at 54% armor and 47% chance to block. So 70% evasion I'm cool with. I would like it to be at least 80. And then armor and block. But like I said before, for as tanky as I would like to be, I still need the damage. So I do know that I can run around in T15 Delirious, fully modded, corrupted Waystones, yes. So this damage that I'm doing right now is fine for doing that type of content. It's not the fastest thing in the world. No, it's not the fastest thing in the world, but because of the investment that I put into it just through passives alone, everything else is pretty much all defenses anyway. So I'm fairly sure it should be tankier than most other things out there. But yeah, the build's going good. It is. I just recently took down Esh, or the Breach boss on it. That was through a setup similar to this before I respect it. I probably had a little bit more damage doing it. So when it comes to clearing out the Waystones in general, Waystone bosses, it's the build's pretty fantastic actually. It's really good at doing that. It's not the fastest thing. It'd probably take a little bit of time to get used to, but I'm enjoying it. What I'm not enjoying is the damage over time stuff that we just don't have enough defenses for, which is where this build, and I'm pretty sure a whole bunch of other ones, will continue to just get wrecked over and over again. Now, granted, I could probably take out this Can't Be Frozen for a Can't Be Poisoned, or grants immunity to poison type of charm, but then you'd have to sit back and deal with freeze. And the way the game's a fucking asshole. It really is. The game's a dickhead about it. So if you were to take off the freeze, I'm pretty sure that you're just going to continually get frozen over and over again. And then it's just the game will find everything that's wrong with your build and fuck with you over it. Um, if I wanted to, I can probably spec out of all of the evasion and energy shield nodes, lose 2 jewel sockets to spec down here into Warm Heart, and then you probably need all 3 of them: Fan of the Flames, Fill the Earth, and Warm Heart, to stop you from being frozen. And then once you have a way to deal with freeze, then you can take off the charm and then put a grants immunity to poison. But even then, like I said before, the game's a fucking dickhead. It's an asshole. So even if you did go around and you try to fix it, there's gonna be something that's just gonna one-shot you anyway, because, you know, the game's a fucking dickhead. But yeah, that's about it. So the build is going good. I'm not confident enough yet in it to put a build guide out on it. It is insanely cheap to put together, or at least when I put it together, it was cheap. Everything that I paid for, that I purchased, was mostly exalts, except for the gloves and the ring. I think these a couple divines. I know that this ring was about a divine when I got it, but then prices continue to fluctuate, so it might be cheaper now. The gloves are still pretty expensive. Everything else is exalts on exalts. Getting a mace like this could cost you up to a divine, or 70 to 80 exalts. Everyone wants the plus projectiles and the increased elemental damage, or just increased levels and stuff, which is how I got this one for so cheap, because it's a mechanical thing. You have to understand the mechanics to be able to put stuff together. And the only thing I really have in this game is experience, so hopefully I'm able to get away with doing things that other people still haven't learned yet, because, you know, they just haven't been around long enough. They're not old enough to understand yet. They need to play the game more. They haven't gone through enough. That's just pretty much my take on it, is they haven't gone through enough, and they're making it way too easy for themselves, because they really will never understand the struggle at all of having 0 damage until Elemental Hit came out. Totally different struggle. But yeah, anyway, I do want to be tankier. I can take out some of these heralds, and I could run like Wind Dancer and Scavenge Plating. But if I were to do that, I would still lose a fuck ton of damage, because this is just general clear, and being able to kill everything around you will also help you survive longer. I would love to get Scavenge Plating. I would love to put on the Wind Dancer and get more armor and more evasion. But for right now, this is the general setup. As I continue to progress through the game, I will probably uncover more challenges that will need to be fixed eventually. But the game's a dickhead. I'll say it again, it is. It will find the only thing wrong with your build, and that will be the one thing it will continue to kill you with, like a fucking asshole. This game's a fucking asshole. It's a dickhead. But beyond that, it's fun. It's going fine. It really is. Decompose is still generating my endurance charges, and with the endurance charges, I'm getting 15% more defenses, which is scaling with the armor, which is 11% increased global defenses. So with the runes in at 4 sockets, it is a 44% increase, which since there's a 0% increase to my global defenses, it becomes a 44% more increase. And then the endurance charges brings it up to like 60% increased. So almost, it's half of 100% more global defenses. So yeah, it's pretty good. I'm enjoying the setup. I'm not gonna put a POB out on it. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys an update on what I'm doing and how it's turning out. Yeah, it's enjoyment. It really is. I picked up some of these jewel sockets pathing up here to get more magnitude for my DPS because I'm already diminishing since this node, a jack of all trades, is almost at 100%, and then I'm getting the increased damage from Lay Siege. The damage will start to diminish, so I needed to find other ways to scale it. So I started increasing the magnitude of chills and then getting some penetration. Even down here, it's the chance to shock plus penetration. That way I will increase the magnitude of not only my chills but also my shocks through these nodes up here. There is no increased effect to any other damage that I'm doing. I could increase defenses more from like my shield, but I might take the damage route, we'll see. I do have the lightning rod, which lightning damage with non-critical hits is lucky, which also acts like a more multiplier. So from this point, depending on how I do with the bossing, if I do need more damage, the only things that I can actually do is just continue to increase the magnitude of probably shock, since it makes them take more damage, and get more penetration. That's legitimately all I can do further to get more damage. I'm already using my totem to also generate rage while I'm inside of the boss fights, which rage is also a more multiplier. So I have different ways to get more damage in the fights, but running around being able to level to 100 comfortably and just be able to chill out and relax while playing the game instead of being stressed the fuck out is something that I'm trying to achieve. I want to be able just to log in after a long day or something and just run around and blow stuff up and just chill out. That's the goal that I'm investing into right now. So, yep, if you guys watched it, thank you for watching the update. There's really nothing special. Yeah. So, eventually, I will probably put a build guide out on it when I'm comfortable with it. I just still have tons more bosses to fight, and I need to see how the build works in the pinnacle boss fights. I still haven't done the Arbiter of Ash. The breach boss that I did was a tier 1. So is it enough to get like to the end game? Maybe. But I do know that in its current state, it could run all the mechanics. It has very little problem running Delirium. It could run Delirium. It could run the Ritual Altars. It could run Breach. It does Expedition. When it comes to the like game mechanics of doing other things in the game, it does all of that just fine. The thing that I now need to work on is the actual pinnacle boss damage and finding out the best and efficient way to still have fun, to be able to sit back and still learn the fight and actually see the skill sets and learn the skill sets, you know, because the devs work their asses off to bring stuff like that to us. So just sitting back and being able to experience the fight without just running in and getting one tapped and instantly dying. Because, you know, where's the fun in that? You didn't learn anything from a one shot. Like, what did you learn in the fight? You still don't know the fight, so you're gonna walk back in again and probably just get one tapped again. Why? Because you didn't have a chance to learn how to fight that boss or what the boss skills are and stuff. That's another thing I'm trying to achieve with this. For right now, though, I'm having fun. I should end this video, it's getting too long. Anyway, if I start switching stuff around again, I'll do another update. But this is the build in its current state. It is 4.5k life, 625 energy shield, 54 armor, 70% evasion, 47% chance to block, which is still pretty decent. And then what is the skill damage of Molten Blast? It's at 15k, which is enough with the heralds to clear out fully modded, corrupted, delirious tier 15s. I haven't gotten into 16s or 17s yet, but tier 15s are good enough for me right now. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and I will probably see you all in the next video.